Well, work and chores are done, so now it's time to play. Welcome, friends, to another episode in the Are You Safe 2 channel. My name's Todd, and we're not going to talk safety today. We're going to open the first box of the Lego Titanic, and I have reset the camera up for hopefully this is a better view for you, and because this is kind of a big set, I think we'll see how things go here. You know what I could use is a bottle of water. There we go. I hope you're having a great weekend. I certainly am. As I said, got the chores finished. So let's get the old bones situated here. I have been saving up for a large Lego set for a few years, and my initial thought was the Lego Ultimate Collector's Series UCS Millennium Falcon. And looking at some of the reviews and listening to others say how, big and awesome it is, it was kind of a neat goal to set for myself. And I guess since January and finishing up just recently the Sears Tower project, I have changed my mind. So I found the Lego Titanic set, pre-owned, pre-loved, and from a good home, smoke-free, pet-free, clean, on Bricklink. Now, this is not a sponsored episode by any means. I did purchase this set, but at much savings than retail. And the previous owners took the time to break it apart into each of the three boxes, and then in each box, the respective bags. So I'll be building it as if it was a new set, but consider the savings, and as the prices of Lego have increased dramatically this year, I thought, well, I can save some money, and with a dynamic kit like this, it'd be kind of neat to light it up. So that's what this is here. And again, this is not a sponsored video. This is a light kit from Light Tailing. Now I thought, gosh, I could build it and then light it as I go. Best laid plans, right? Well, after further discussion with the voices in my head, I figured I'm going to build the set and then add the lights later, which does mean breaking it apart into separate sections, but it's not as difficult as it sounds. It's not going all the way back to brick one. So that is something I will enjoy at a later date, but not for maybe this particular series. So I'm going to call this the Unsinkable series, as we had the Windy City series, which included the Chicago skyline and the Sears Tower mock, the 3 foot 3/8 inch tall mock that is now proudly sitting in my living room and lights up, which is pretty cool. If you'd like to see that, look back either in the playlists or other videos. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am really glad you're here. As a fan of the plastic brick, I have enjoyed it as kind of brick therapy to take my mind off of the daily grind and whatever stresses that may come about from regular work as an industrial workplace safety specialist. So is an empty nester and wanting to find something that would occupy my time. Lego has been a really fun hobby. And some may look at it as toys. Let's see. Master bedroom, master bath, cleaned. Guest room, bathroom, bedroom, cleaned. Kitchen, cleaned. Vacuum, still have to do that, but that can wait. I have guests coming in next weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. And we'll be cleaning the Taj Mahal Resort, Spa, Golf Club, and Tire Care Center here. Let's see, living room, cleaned. Office, cleaned. Cardboard trash, somewhat taken out, but I've got a box here today that I'll add. Let's see, Titanic facts and figures, so we can learn something. Done. And then the D&B project has been continued. So that was my chore list for today. This is a reprint of the from Life magazine that talks about the Titanic, the history, the tragedy. And I am a fan of this. So in addition to geeking out since it was first discovered by Robert Ballard and published in National Geographic, I've just been enthralled with the history, the mystery, the legends, the lore, and the legacy that this ship, one of many ships that have sunk over the course of maritime history, but this one in particular has just some effect that draws people to it, generations, time and time again. So I'm very glad to have this set to start. Now, with me today are not only my usual cast of characters, Toby, the world's worst safety manager. However, he's celebrating today. He is celebrating with an iced coffee and a smile on his face. He's wearing 3D glasses too. Yes, there are minifig heads that have different printing than you might usually find. And so the iced coffee, I think that came from Citizen Brick. And the 3D glasses head came from minifigs.me. Again, not sponsored. The other cast of characters include our friendly safety folks. We have Minifig Mike, Mike Rowe. He's a cool guy, an advocate for the trade skills and jobs in the trade skills. And then various safety folks that represent different aspects of my career choice. So they're going to join watching me today. And then we've got some other characters, and I'll be sharing those with you over the next several episodes. How many will this take? I don't know. I'm going to take a little bit of a time. I've got my eye on the clock, so we can keep each episode within a reasonable time. Some episodes may be one bag or half a bag. Some episodes might be just a reveal of what I had built the previous few days or so. And so I'll be introducing these other little minifigures down the road. But let's start by opening up a box. Shall we? We shall. Let's see. Minifig lists. Rough guideline of how I am approaching this series. Let's see. That is another timeline and a couple of interesting facts as we unbox. Over here, a collection of DVDs and or a particular movie that was filmed about the Titanic in my collection. I've got quite a collection of researching this, not just from a personal, but also from a professional aspect, since it did involve industrial workers and crew members and passengers who lost their lives. And so, a couple of facts today. Her last rocket flare. Let me repeat this. Clean my glasses. Maybe see a little bit better. Her last rocket flared out over a century ago, and the desperate cries from her decks became still as she slipped beneath the ocean waters. Yet, even 113 years later, in the RMS Titanic, perhaps the most famous ship that ever sailed, maintains a presence, and it weaves past, present, and future into a rich tapestry of stories, discoveries, and wonder. It crosses over generations and around the world. The Titanic struck an iceberg on her maiden voyage only 2.5 days after departing her last port of call, heading east. And the next morning, April 15th, 1912, she sank beneath the icy North Atlantic waters. She took 1,517 women, men, and children to the bottom of the ocean, including some of the most famous names of her time. But Titanic and her voyage continues in the books, documentaries, movies, TV shows, and the public fascination. Part historic chronicle, part human drama, but the tale of the doomed ship still has us in its hooks. Today, her story continues to be, I don't know, how do you, it compels people. That's what I wanted to write. It compels people the research has changed. Myth has become fact, and vice versa. But still, her passage, her voyage, won't end. So here are some facts that I've found, and I'll go through just a couple at a time. And I invite you to join me on this journey. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share with others if you so choose. So the first couple, she was called the Ship of Dreams. At the time of her launch, the Royal Mail steamer Titanic was the largest, most elegant, man-made, movable object on the Earth. Now again, what year are we talking about? April 14th, 15th. April 15th, 1912. It is now October 5th, 2025. The Titanic cost $7.5 million to build. And the White Star Line's Titanic and her sister ship, Olympic, were designed to compete with the famous Cunard lines, Lusitania and Mauritania. We're going to stop our trivia and facts for there. All right, let's get into this, because that's what you came here for, and that's what I'm excited to start building. No, even though this is a U.S. Postal Service box, there were actually 3 boxes in one container. I think the UPS driver said it weighed about 40 pounds. I love that new box smell. Wow. Each of the boxes has its own instruction manual. And in the instructions are various facts and other trivia. This first box, the first book, covers the bow section of the ship. Triple screw design, and there are 12 bags in this box. I think I counted. Oh, nice going, Todd. See, this is why we can't afford nice things. I'm gonna knock over our minifigures. Let's see, put you back right on there. All right. Let's get the sharp objects out of the way. And they even pre-numbered, they numbered the bags, which, again, very cool. Haha. Set that down there. So let's see, bag 2. Bag 3. Bag 11. Bag 6. Bag 12. 10. 10. I think that was 6, so this is 7. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Wow. There are 9,090 pieces in this set. Now, technically, this isn't the largest Lego set that I've built. That was another one of my creations that my son and I worked together for over 5 years. It was a castle and grounds, and it was huge. It was huge. I don't remember how many base plates. 30 base plates. 3 base plates wide by 10 base plates long. And it had a great hall and a residence and a garden and a queen's tower. And there was a full-on jousting arena, probably the size of this kitchen table. That alone had 20 different tents and 5 knights per tent. One was the jouster. The other were, the support. And of course, they had horses and the stables and a grandstand. And that was massive and a lot of fun to build. Then there was a wizard's tower and a port area for ships. And it was on display down the street at the Bricks and Minifigs. And it was just so much fun that my son and I worked on for quite a number of years. I couldn't tell you how many thousands of pieces that was. And the memories from that is what I hold onto me. So now as a formal set, again, that was something my son and I worked on our own. No instructions, just imagination. But this is the largest set that I have ever built and purchased. For the value, I think it is great. So let's go ahead and drop these other bags that we're not going to build today. And we got about 30 minutes left, so we'll see how far we can get into the bags today. So here's our hobby mat. Here's our different cups if we need to separate by color. small bits, emotional support acts, thank you, Allie, and instructions. Normally, I would have my monitor at my regular workstation because the digital download is so much easier for me to see with my good eye. But we will see how this goes. There's a lot of pieces in this first bag. This is bag one, right? Yes, this is bag one. Yeah, we're not going to finish. We're going to keep these episodes under an hour. Oh, wow. This is great. And again, if I haven't thanked you, I think I did, but thank you so much for joining me today in this landmark build. Okay, so yellow's going to go there. Gray. Black. White. So this is going to be light gray. Yellow. Let's get all those. I think we're also going to include blue on that as well. Is that tan? Yes. So we'll put white there, tan there. Now there's a madness to my method. I knoll in a couple of different ways. One is by color. The other is then by shape or size. And given the visual limitations, sometimes I have to do it by feel or sight. And then the small pieces, the little bits pieces. Is that tan or white? That's tan. Gray. White. I see brown, dark red. Wow. 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 So bags 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the very front bow. Bags 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are for the section after that. Then we're going to fit those together and include bags 10, 11, and 12. Are we ready? I wish I had some ceremony for the first click of the bricks, but we won't do that. There we go. We're off and running. Book 1, step 1. There it is. tell if that's tan or white. Well, we're going to see what we have here. Piece. Like these are the only two I can use in that color. There it is. Well, folks, I think we're going to call it an episode here and come back again at another time. And this is step 9 we've completed. Yay! Thank you very much for joining me as we unboxed the first box and got through the first few steps. So we built something, we learned something, and we'll compliment someone next time. And we'll do maybe a little mini safety tip of the day. This is great. Off to a good start. Thank you very much for joining me in this unsinkable journey. And the Lego Titanic set. So there's red. I'll get a bin for black, yellow and blue, light gray, white, and tan. It's like experimenting. Awesome. Well, my name's Todd, and I am a certified workplace safety professional. If you have questions, again, comments, feedback, I'd very much like you to like the episode, click the thumbs up, as well as share if you know somebody else who might be interested in this through your social media. Let me know. All right. We left off on step 9. So we started unboxing. Step 1 through 9. How many do we have left to go till we finish the bag? Because we spent a lot of time today jibber-jabbering and sorting the first bag. I think it'll go a little smoother next time. Okay, I see where they're going with this. Cleverly built. Okay, so that takes us through this first section. We have a ways to go. I'm not in any rush, and you're welcome to join me along for the ride. Very exciting to have you here with me. Now, since the channel is named Are You Safe Too, not Rusafi. I used to joke that would tell people, what was Rusafi? That's the Mayan god of fertility. No, not really. But Are You Safe Too? And the philosophy that I've created around that centers on 3 things. And that is the ROCKS philosophy, or that's what makes up the ROCKS philosophy. ROCKS. Remember our commitment to keep safe. Use our training. Learn from the past. Watch out for each other. Focus on the present. Avoid distractions. Plan for the future. Use resources and tools. Plan ahead. Use your calendar. Because we're all in this together. We're saving the world, one accident at a time. Thank you very much for joining me today. And I look forward to this very epic, iconic build. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.